background.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
you.
lo-fi music like this to have a beat to the conversation.
I like it.
Well, hello everyone. We're live today with my friend Hannah, who is a very fascinating person, even in the way she reaches out in the DM and like to have a conversation with you. She's a very would I say that authentic person online, which is and a really authentic person, not trying to be authentic online. She's a fascinating person. She have a lovely journey that I want to have a conversation about here in the show. So, Hannah, how's your day
Yes.
going?
It's going great. It's going great. Thank you for having me. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I already like your vibes. You're a cool guy. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. How are you?
It's good. It's good. It's good. So, from a dreamer to a doer, can I have more context on what exactly that means to you and why do you have it like everywhere on social, like being a doer, not dreamer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of an in-depth story, but I always like to start it off just, kind of where I found my purpose and I guess how I got to where I am now. So, my dad is Swedish, my mom is Polish. My dad was born in Sweden, my mom was born here. They got married within like 11 days of knowing each other, freaking nuts.
Oh,
Um, but I kind of grew up on video games from my dad, and we moved around a lot because he was a welder. So I've lived in like 30 different places, mostly on like the I guess the West Coast, almost like Idaho, Montana, California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. Um,
well, that's a lot of cities.
yes, yes. But pretty much I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I really liked forensics, and then I kind of got into like maybe wanting to be a helicopter pilot, and then I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I had all these different things I wanted to be, but nothing really like clicked or resonated until one day I went to a new school and met someone named Seth, and he's still like my friend to this day. With like, I'm so blessed to have a friendship that has lasted since sixth grade.
Nice.
That's very rare to have, but
Yeah.
he introduced me to someone named Markiplier, which is a gaming YouTuber, and he's very flamboyant, very authentic, just a really good, funny guy. And he's what helped me find my purpose because I realized, oh, you can like play video games and make people smile and just like have a good time and make money. I want to do that. That's so sick. So I started my YouTube channel at 15 and kind of just self-taught myself um, editing and streaming and stuff, and was just kind of going about like a gaming content creator lifestyle almost. Wasn't really successful in it though. I wasn't really going about things the right way. I was kind of just pressing the stream button, but not doing any kind of marketing, not really showing people what I'm doing. Like I was kind of doing that follow for follow mentality, but I wasn't even doing that. I was just kind of putting myself out there and not really knowing what to expect. So because of that, for like almost 4 years, I pursued this content creation stuff with no. I mean, I had some luck. I joined a couple esports organizations. I met some really cool people, but I still wasn't getting the success that I was wanting. So eventually, fast forward to 2020. My grandpa ended up passing away from cancer, and it's kind of like a theme in my whole family. Cancer, unfortunately. But that specific incident, I've only ever been close to my parents, so anybody in my outside family, like I didn't really know them. But I had met my grandpa once or twice during my younger years, but I don't know. I just had such a profound impact on me that I was like, okay, I want to create maybe some sort of Minecraft awareness event where people can go into this Minecraft server, create things that mean a lot to them, and then a bunch of people will pretty much walk down this hallway of memories and just see these creations that people who've been impacted by cancer have created. I didn't end up being able to create that because I got pivoted into basically becoming CEO of a startup at 21, just turned 21. Um, And from there, I was taking care of somebody. His name was Matthew Nowacki. He was a AAA game developer, worked on Epic Mickey 2, Revolve, I think it were. I don't remember. He worked on quite a few pretty cool, like pretty big titles. And he had a pituitary tumor and thyroid cancer. And so pretty much I had uprooted everything. I had driven 27 hours from Sacramento, completely broke, to try and help this startup. And one of their other advisors was helping me just have like room and board and stuff. But pretty much I was learning how to become CEO. So I ditched all my gaming stuff. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna help this startup. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm gonna just wing it. This is cool. It gives me entrepreneur vibes, so I'm gonna do it. And while I was pretty much taking care of Matthew, I moved in with him, and because his roommate had randomly left him, and like he was facing like eviction and stuff. It was pretty horrible, and he had like money that was owed to him that was stolen from his church and stuff. It was pretty horrible. So I was there to help him, take care of him, take him to his appointments and stuff, while also learning how to make a brand new startup. And like I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I did that for 9 months. Lost 30 pounds just sitting in a chair. Had zero self-love. Didn't give a care about myself. I was just really trying to grind out and put others' masks on before myself. And Matthew ended up passing away. And that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm in a city where I don't know anybody. And, you know, I've been I haven't been making friends while I've been here, just trying to help this startup. And that whole thing kind of catalyzed my spiritual awakening, where I was like, oh, wow, like, what is this world? Like, why do bad things keep happening to me? Like, whoa, am I in the right path? Like, what's going on? And moved back to Nevada with my parents after that, because I didn't really know what to do next. And tried to start an SMMA. And I still actually kind of want to do that. After, like, maybe this year or next year, kind of depending on how things go with my financial stuff. But I moved in with my dad, and he didn't really like my spiritual beliefs, and he actually pretty much lifted me off the ground by my neck and hit me, all in front of his new fiance, simply because I had kind of confronted him on how he was belittling, you know, the things that I believed in, and was just very, very rude and very callous to me whenever I'd bring up my beliefs. And so immediately left, moved in with my mom. And then about 3 months later, she had kind of a psychological approach where she just said that she didn't really believe in anything that I was doing, and didn't really care that I was going homeless. We just had a really bad falling out. And so yeah, then that all happened July 2023. So, you know, like 8 months ago, somewhere around there, 8-9 months ago. And that is what catalyzed me into what I do now, where I'm running a financial agency. And pretty much the reason why I got to this point after all that was I realized I've been dreaming since 6th grade. I haven't had a financial foundation. I haven't had a genuine strategy, genuine plans, real tangible short, mid, and long-term goals. I didn't have any of that. I was just shooting in the dark and, you know, hoping and wishing that my dreams would come true, but not really knowing how to do it. And I didn't have genuine plans. So yeah, this business kind of catalyzed me into realizing, damn, like, people need financial foundations. People need actual steps. And that's where I believe my purpose now comes in, where it's not just helping making people smile while playing video games. It is quite literally helping them realize their own potential, find their purpose. From there, helping them take the steps that they need to get out of whatever poverty mindsets that they have and into a genuine place of empowerment. Because, you know, I was trying to take an approach of helping people with their mindsets, but I realized you can't work on your mindset if you can't even survive, if you don't even have your basic necessities handled, your food, your water, your home, just having security. If you don't have that, it is almost close to impossible to work on your mindset and convince yourself that you're going to get anywhere. You have to have tangible action. So yeah, I guess that's the long and short of it.
Love the way that you told that story, and I felt every like moment of it, how you were kind of feeling, and the coming back and the triumph at the end was really rewarding, because before you like took
Yeah.
the step back, like it was going emotionally. And I love how you took that challenge, like it's a spot, like when life hits you with several situations like this. And I'm really sorry for all we had to go through with people that passed away, Matthew and grandfather, and all the stuff. But
Thank
it
you.
can takes you welcome, and it can take you in like two direction kind of route, like, hey, I hate what's happening to me, I hate life, why is this happening, you go that rabbit hole of feeling bad for yourself, or feeling bad from the universe, the world. And you took the other path, which is positivity, and taking everything in, rethinking what, restructuring your mind and your mindset, and how you can take the stuff that is happening to you, and you can turn it into something that is beneficial to you, and it can impact everybody around you, because it started from inside, and translate
Yeah.
out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that part of your journey. It's very fascinating to see
Thank you.
this. How was it in like the transitioning months, from taking like, because you've been doing this for 9 months now, but in the first couple of months, pivoting and switching the mindset, because this is, I feel like, for people taking action, this is the pivotal moment. If they can last the first couple of months and feel good from it, they will stick longer in the journey. But most people don't realize that the first 3, 4, 6 months suck. You literally are not rewarded. You're literally eating shit for or every day, and
Yeah.
you might have had like a thing that was making money, or already giving you gratification or dopamine over the day, but you're not doing this. You're rather doing something that is for your vision, for your future self that you want to meet, or scale up to, sort of say. But I want to hear your perspective on the first couple of months, because I switched from the corporate stuff back in July. I'm till this day, it's not really financially, it's not kicking in as much as I was doing in the corporate stuff. But I'm gonna keep doing this, because I really found myself in this right now. But if I didn't stick for that long, because Twitter started hitting up with me in like December, so 6 months in, after
Okay.
doing the
Yeah.
thing. If I lived, month 3, like, we're not gonna be having this conversation right now. So
Yeah.
tell me about your perspective on that, couple of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually in month 6 of being here, so I can attest to all of that. Yeah, I'd say yeah, I'll be super vulnerable. Like pretty much right when my mom left me homeless is right when I started this stuff. And you have to get licensed to like be able to, talk about just even just basic finances and stuff. Finance is really, really heavily regulated here. So um, pretty much I had to study 40 hours in order to be able to take the test. I failed the test twice, got it on my third time. Heck yeah. I was so excited,
Yeah,
dude.
love.
I was so excited because you have to pay for the test every time, and
Ooh,
it's yeah, it's
yeah.
agonizing. So the first 2 times I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make
Oh.
this. But yeah, pretty much I had moved from Reno. I'm in Washington now, so I had nothing left in Reno after everything that happened with my parents. I had no friends left or anything. I literally had hit rock bottom. I had literally zero connections left. And I had one person met her back in middle school, and we were still friends, luckily. And she saw what I was going through. And her roommate randomly left, pretty much right when I was taking my test for this stuff. And so I moved up about 10 hours, and ended up in a totally new city now, and pretty much started my journey here with just door dashing, going around delivering food and stuff, while kind of learning how to go about this business. So I did that for about 2 months, and then 3 months in, I was getting a little tired. I was like, okay, I'm not making anything here yet. Yeah, do I kind of feel like I'm doing something wrong? Maybe I'm not entirely sure. So I was like, let me get another sales job really quick, just to see if if it is the job, or if it's just my ego that's being impatient. So I started selling vacuum cleaners here for like a couple weeks, and I was able to sell, like, I don't know, 7 to 10 of them in like a couple, in that amount of time. So I was like, okay, if I can sell $3,000 vacuum cleaners in that amount of time, there's no way that I can't make it, like, in my finance stuff. So it's like, okay. So I left that after 2 weeks. I came back and was like, all right, how can I really implement like my action and my energy into, my financial stuff? And I'll be totally honest with you. I still only really have like 2 clients, and a huge reason for that is because I've kind of felt like an imposter, joining this agency, because it is finance. It's a really emotional and deep thing to talk about with people, and people within finance, they want to make sure the people that they're working with know what they're talking about, and they know that they have their finances with the right people. So I think I've been kind of stuck in a paralysis analysis almost, or analysis paralysis, where I'm trying to be a little bit too much of a perfectionist. I'm trying to learn too much, and I'm almost overcomplicating things. So I haven't really even been telling people about what I do. I haven't been really DMing people about my offer or anything, because I've felt like an imposter almost. But I've actually kind of, this 6 months have hit, and now at this point in my journey, I feel more than comfortable being here. I still haven't made really all that much, but like I'm in the same boat as you, where I feel like I found my purpose here. I've completely like who I used to be in August versus now. 6 months Hannah from now, I don't even know who the hell she is. Like, I am so
Yeah.
far past that. So it's like, when you find the right people in the right industry, and it doesn't just even change you financially. Usually it'll change your mind first. It will change, like, you'll just start doing so much inner reflection. Like, the amount of reflection I've done from my childhood, just like I've been like getting over my past childhood traumas and learning like how what I learned in my childhood is directly impacting my business today, and how I'm perceiving life and going about relationships. It's so powerful. And I never would have done any of that childhood work had I not like come here and been surrounded with my people. And I'd say my team is a huge reason for that. Like, they're giving me books. They're always here for me. They're always, I can always ask them questions. There's no such thing as a wrong question. So yeah, I'd say in those beginning months, it's gonna fucking suck. You're not. It's not gonna be easy. You're not gonna see the results that you're looking for, and that's okay. But as long as you feel good and you know that what you're doing is fulfilling your purpose, that's what matters. Because eventually, with consistency, with continued action, you will start to see results. And eventually, the compound effect will take place, where instead of the compound effect of all of your poverty habits, continuing to compound upon each other, your life is slowly shifting into your highest self. And then you're going to start seeing compound effects of success. And then you're going to start seeing that money flowing in. You're going to start seeing more connections. You're going to start seeing more opportunities. And that's what's been happening. I've been starting to get a lot more people that like want to hop on my podcast. I have been getting a lot of inbound DMs. People ask me what I do. It's like the universe is like screaming at me, just tell people what you do, Hannah. Like, stop being scared. So Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
journey is different for everybody, and that maybe some people get into this, they're not scared at first, and they just go like 10 toes in, and maybe they get swayed away because they're like, oh, I just put my all into this and nothing happened. But then that's the issue of people valuing intensity over consistency, because they believe that if you're intense for a little bit, that will get you where you want to go in a short amount of time. And they're trying to like shortcut the process of life almost. It's like, no, usually it's going to take you 6 to 9 months before you start seeing results. So yeah, just honestly stick it out. If you really believe in what you're doing, stick it out for sure.
That, and also shiny object syndrome. Like, it's a big thing in the beginning, like where you this, I'm pursuing this and it's great, but this big thing and it's trending and it's the AI version of it.
Hmm.
Let's dabble into that a little bit. This will get you, like, just focus on one aspect of the journey and stick to it. Like, you'll switch later, you can still pursue the other stuff later, but you just gotta succeed at one aspect of it. At least validate that, gather all the data from, and the feedback from that, and it will help you unlock the other stuff. Versus if
Yeah.
you,
And like,
like,
well,
if
that
you
success you're talking about, like I found that in January. So you said you were hopping on X in December. I've had Twitter for years, and out of all the social media platforms I've had, I have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram,
Mm.
Snapchat, like just all of them, I guess. Like I never really
Oh,
felt myself. I like on all of them. I never really posted me and my authenticity and what I wanted to talk about. But on
mm,
Twitter, I always treated it like my diary. It was just like my online diary almost. I was just like tweeting
yeah.
out my thoughts and like my music and stuff. And then in January, I was like, okay. So it's been five months now. I still haven't gotten any clients. And I was feeling drained by trying to prospect on like 7 different platforms and not getting anywhere. So I was like, okay, what platform do I feel the most authentic on? The one where I don't feel like people are going to judge me that much. And even if they do, I actually welcome hate, because when you're hated, that means you're going in the right direction. But like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
like I was like, I feel really good here. So I just started to take myself seriously. I had 150 followers the start of January. Now I'm at like
Mm.
1.1K or something. Like,
Yeah.
so that's the success. That all of my DMs have been starting to come in. Like I'm starting to see stuff rolling. So it's like, yeah, once you find that one little aspect that you're talking about, dude,
Mhm.
everything else just
Y-
starts flowing in.
Yeah. And you feel good about it, and people don't realize that you need this to keep going at it. If you don't have something that is working and you mastered and you feel confident in pursuing other stuff, you still have that, the imposter syndrome kick in, the feeling of, I never tried this. But I feel like, and Twitter, specifically because of the diary nature, because you can tweet stuff that is very random and have a very deep tweet after, and that very deep tweet go viral and people start DMing you from that tweet, and you just tweeted prior to that something very random, I just farted or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and they're okay with that, and
Yeah.
it's really, yeah, and it unlocks that for social media. Like, overall, on other platform, I've been trying Instagram stuff. LinkedIn is okay, but people have this kind of, they add to themselves a little bit. They have to appear a little bit professional,
Yes.
and
Yes. LinkedIn is a straight mask of accolades. That's all it is.
but you can get conversation from
You
there. I'll
can.
tell you that. Like people will talk and it will convert you. Like, if this is your style, if you're not really trying to connect with your authentic self and be yourself online, uh, LinkedIn is your place to
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Well, and also like I plan to get back on LinkedIn to show off my accolades, I guess, but I think that's like I mean, I don't know. There might be a certain piece of authenticity within accolades, but I think what most people are doing wrong on LinkedIn is that's how they lead. They lead with their accolades. They don't lead with the authenticity, with the, oh, I just farted. They don't lead with that. They think that that's like, they think the authenticity is a bad thing that's gonna like sway people away. But it's like, no, when you really think about it, have you ever, like, what do you resonate more with, McDonald's or like a genuine like mom and pop shop CEO owner that like you can genuinely talk to and connect with and talk about their services and stuff? Like, it's like you don't connect with the brand, you connect with the person, and people get that mistake. I got a DM yesterday or today or something that I was like, he was like saying that he was hesitant to bring his personality into his brand, and his whole Twitter is just his brand. It's not, I don't know his name, I don't know any of that. And I was like, and he was like, I'm just hesitant about it. I'm like, dude, you can't be, because like, think about it. Like, people aren't going to resonate with you by just seeing your logo and like seeing you post about your business stuff. Like, they want to hear you, they want to see you, they want to feel you, they want to know who you are as a person, they want to know your purpose, why you're pursuing it. If you're just there to sell a product, nobody's going to buy from you. Like, it's just so obvious.
And to reflect on your journey as well, you are finding success, finding traction, because you found a tribe of like-minded people who are helping you thrive and flourish in that experience. And if you are not putting yourself or your authentic self out there, you're not going to have that connection online.
Exactly, like you said, everything comes from within. If you don't have that within, if you have bad if you have a lot of negativity within, or you have a lot of self-limiting beliefs, I think that we're like walking energy generators. So like, if you're walking around inauthentic, like, you're attracting inauthenticity. You're like magnetizing everything you don't want to come to you. It's like,
yeah.
I love talking about that kind of stuff, because it's like, people really don't understand. Like, it was such a profound, I guess, discovery for me. Like, so when everything happened with Matthew, like, I was just kind of sitting in my room, and I'll be honest, like, I was depressed out of my mind. Like, everything that happened with him, like, it was a very traumatic story what I went through, just the whole day of everything that happened, from finding him and the way in the condition that he was. But for like 2 days, I was just sitting on my bed, just like, I was just sobbing. I felt horrible. I felt like, I was like, oh my God, like, am I even meant to be doing entrepreneur stuff anymore? And then, so what catalyzed me into like the spiritual piece was because my advisor from Australia, he told me to look up ley lines, and they're like these energy grids, I guess, that like run all across the world, and they all like link up to different places, like sacred spots. So like the like the pyramids, I guess, would be an example. And so that I found that, and that led me down a rabbit hole of like energy and all that, and that's how I kind of got into this. But I realized, I was like sitting in my room, and it was a profound discovery of realizing like, my energy isn't just limited to my room. I thought that like, as soon as I go in my room and lock my door, nobody's being affected by my thoughts, nobody's being affected by my emotions, nothing's really happening, it's just me in my own little box. Then I realized people around, like even my neighbors, can feel my energy, and they can like through the walls. It's like, that's how powerful it is to be authentic. So it's like, that makes sense why in certain areas of the world there's a lot of poverty, because everybody is emanating a poverty energy, and it's just continuing to bring more poverty into that field. That's why you see like poverty stricken areas in like LA and stuff. It's because those specific areas hold those energies. So it's like, I just love talking about it, because it's like, people deserve to know, like, hey, you literally control your life. You are in control of every aspect of everything that you attract. And when people say, oh, I didn't ask for these bad things to happen, you did ask, because when you ask the universe to give you strength, it's not going to give you strength. It's going to give you situations to cause you to be strong. So it's like I want people to understand that and just kind of come to this place of pure empowerment. Be like, I can change my life. I can believe in myself. My thoughts are not my thoughts. They are just, we have 60K thoughts a day. You really think every single one is like true? No, there's no way. You have the power to choose your thoughts. You have the power to choose what action you take amongst those thoughts. So it's like, yeah, I go off on tangents. So I just love this energy stuff.
Yeah, I love it too. And I love to, my thing for the like, since taking on the journey of self-developing, and is exploring perspectives, understanding everything through, not through a judging eye, through an understanding and empathetic eye, to really get the full picture of the universe itself. If I take on the perspective of just where I'm born, or where what I've been taught in school, or what happened to me, or the trauma that happened, and what I told myself at a very young age at that moment, and it got embedded inside my mind that I should feel bad or feel a certain way because that happened to me. And you grow up, you realize that you have all of those embedded inside your head, and you have a whole perspective about the world and how it should be and how it's acting. When you dive into other perspectives and with an really empathetic eye, and really try to understand, even if it's totally different, if it's not really what you believe, if you are a very logical person and the energy stuff and the spirituality is not your thing, just understand it. Just try to really get the essence that this whole thing is trying to tell, because through that you find the whole meaning, the real meaning of the universe. Like, if you get that perspective and that perspective and that perspective, because every perspective, as you said, like the 16K, so we have, like, not all of them are true or come from an authentic place or a place of logic or a place of realness to it. It's just a place of emotional translated to an action or a hatred towards something. So if you reverse engineer it and understand it and evaluate it through that perspective and the other perspective, you get a whole new perspective of the universe that is more open to change, to adaptation, to being more fluid and acceptant of people. And
and I think at the end of the day, like, when it comes to the different perspectives, like, I have 44 principles that I follow, and one of them is I am open-minded to each
I
and
read
every.
those yesterday.
Oh, heck yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, so one of them is, I'm open-minded to each and every religion, belief, spirituality, anything that if you're an atheist, like, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I genuinely believe through all of our different perspectives and all of our different windows, the thing that it all comes back to is love and authenticity. Like, that is really it. If you are just always sitting in pity or really low vibration emotions, and you just stay there, like, your life is not gonna, it's gonna suck. You're creating hell on earth pretty much. But it's like, that's why I'm so open-minded to literally all perspectives, because I feel like literally within every single perspective is love. Somebody has that perspective because it rings something true inside their heart that causes them to feel some type of way. That's usually about, love or hate, it's interesting. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, if all of us just end up being more loving and more authentic, I think that is what will help change the world. Like, just getting rid of people's masks and realizing we're all just human. We're all just here.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel we are on the cutting edge over it, or the start of peak of that movement of consciousness.
100%. Oh, dude. just this past year, I've been seeing so much. Just like people are, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more authenticity. I will say that.
Exactly. And with that comes conflict, of course, because more people are being authentic, more people are understanding, and more conflict is going to happen for sure. And it's part of it. But after we get, because let's be honest, after this, we'll get to a more stable phase or a stable season, because this season is very high on tension. The season after that will need stability and more, and with all the consciousness that is happening, and the eye opening, and the empathy that is, and the love that is being exchanged, I feel like our next phase as a humanity, because of AI and stuff, all the other stuff, of course, but our story as humanity is going to take a pivotal moment that is, we don't really have the capability to really understand right now. How I can't predict how 2023 is going to look like, to be honest with you, but I feel it's going to be better, or I don't know. I just have some good feeling about it.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, I feel it. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
telling my team in December I was starting to feel miracle energy. I still kind of feel it. I don't know why. It just feels like something's around the corner. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about your future self, because we kind of hinted at it a couple of times, but I really want to know what's your vision for the future, how you imagine yourself impacting people, going from being a dreamer to a doer. I want to hear about that part.
I have a lot of I mean a lot of just visions, dreams, goals. Like I created a mind map when I first it was like 5 months into becoming CEO of that startup. I suddenly had this. I just had so many ideas in my brain, and I didn't write them out. And I like created this huge mind map from like going from talking about how to have education within AI all the way to like terraforming Mars and like how to jumpstart gravity and stuff, and then like how to make a protopian meta modern city, and like I have so many things I want to do, but it's like those are very massive and grand, so I had to kind of put them down and leave it for a later date. But in any case, I think my biggest vision, just for the world and just for my life, is I imagine myself being a billionaire. I think that in order to help change the world, you can't do that with $1,000. Can't do that with $1 million. You got to have a lot of money and be kind of in a position of power and authority, so that way people listen to you, they understand you, they feel you, and that's why I want to build up my foundation as authentically and genuine as possible from the start. And yeah, so I think I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a philanthropist, world's biggest philanthropist. I'm kind of taking an approach of Andrew Carnegie, if you will. He's like he might still be to this day, like richest American or whatever. Had like I think his net worth right now is like 350 billion if you were to like convert it. So like that's kind of my goals, I guess, is kind of like reaching his levels of wealth, and then being able to create foundations all over America and the world, and just make it where people's passions are highlighted, people's purpose is highlighted. And I really love everything technology, future stuff, anything like that. So I kind of also envision myself at the forefront of, stuff like AI, stuff like the metaverse and VR and stuff like that, because I still love gaming and I've always loved VR and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I guess you could maybe call me the next Elon Musk, if you will. That's kind of what some people have compared me to. But yeah, I'm ever changing. I don't like to necessarily put myself in a box as to what I want to be, because who knows? Like I might end up being bigger than that, or I don't really know what realities I can end up conjuring in my lifetime. But yeah, I want to change the world. I want to help people. I envision myself at the forefront of a purpose-driven millionaire movement, where I've pivoted America to have a base income of 7 figures, and really having that where like nobody's living in poverty, and we can show the world, we can show everybody that you can have a nation that is really genuinely empowered from the ground up, from finances all the way up to mindset. And it's gonna take a while. It's gonna be a process for sure, but I think starting off with finance is really going to help because it's going to empower the people. It's a huge thing that people, in our economy, like that's the biggest thing that people I see are complaining about is like how much eggs cost. If the cost of eggs is like our biggest like concern in America, I think we need to work on like getting people finances, and then maybe start getting them into like mindset stuff, and just kind of like easing everything together. Because we're the world is in a little bit of a dire situation. But yeah.
True. Yeah. So impact for you, what does that mean, having that impact? Other than financial freedom, like, because here's the thing, like one sort of idea that comes to mind is what Sam Altman is talking about the universal basic income, sort of AI kicking in with the economy, because I think about those stuff in the future, because we're talking about the future, the vision. Like,
Well, I will say I don't know if I believe in universal income. I will say I really like the idea of an open access economy, which is essentially where money is completely like currency pretty much doesn't exist. And one of my homies said it's kind of like Star Trek almost. I think the Star Trek universe, where it's like you pretty much just you do for others, you give to others, you don't expect anything in return because you'll get something in return somewhere else. And just kind of having a reality where people, their reputation is based on what they do for others and how they care for others. So I found somebody on TED Talks that was talking about it, and I actually like got connected with him, and it was pretty freaking cool. But he like created this whole open access wiki almost. It's like pretty much talks about what this kind of economy would look like, how it would impact people, and I really resonate with that. But I don't think that that's going to be achievable. Not like probably for the next 20 to 30 years, just because we have to get people comfortable first with their finances and stuff. So I think for the first like 5 to 10 years, it's just going to be a huge focus on the pivot of finances in America. And then from there, the impact will change into getting people to really believe in themselves and feel really empowered in what they're doing. And from there, I feel like when people are empowered with finances, it causes them to be more charitable, to be more philanthropic. They're because they're being surrounded with good experiences, they want to help others achieve that too. Now, obviously, you're going to have your weirdos and your rats and your people that are selfish, and they do what they want. That's just life. But I think that after that, I don't really even know if an open access economy will be achievable. It's a grand vision to just go from money to no money. That's a really huge switch and a huge pivot. So I'm not really sure, but I really believe that I believe in love. I believe in authenticity. I believe in caring for others. I believe that we're just here to love others, and I don't like the idea of having money be such a stressor for just living, just surviving, just being able to engage with others. It sucks that even has to be a problem. So it's something I want to remove. That's the impact. I want to remove this feeling of the need for material gain in order to have genuine connection.
Yeah, that's why I brought the universal basic income stuff, because financial freedom. I mean, a capitalist.
He disappeared. I will remain here. He'll probably come back. This is so awkward. What the heck? I hope he comes back. Come back, Tarek. I wonder if his Wi-Fi went out. That would suck.
I'm sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Is everything okay? Did your power go out or something?
It's the internet. I don't know what happened. I have to switch to network. But
Well, we're still good. We're still here.
Yeah.
You were talking about universal income and everything.
Yeah, because the way I see it is like the reason we feel so many inequalities right now because the capitalistic system itself, if your only goal is being optimized for efficiency and money, you're not really caring about the human part of it.
Right.
So pursuing just the money aspect on in the future is not really gonna help the whole. Like we will need a pivot from that.
Absolutely.
As a whole.
It's kind of like climbing the hierarchy of needs chart almost. That's kind of what I'm doing because it's like people have told me that like they feel like I'm already at the top, which is I feel blessed that people they think so highly of me. But in the same vein, like I don't have my whole pyramid mapped out. Like I might be awakened, I guess, but my survival stuff, like I'm not anywhere where I want to be. I want to be I want to live in luxury. Like I want to have a luxury car garage. Like I have no, like that's one thing I want to help people like also with is like people think that if you want to have luxury, if you want to express yourself extravagantly, that it's selfish and it's greedy and stuff. But it's like, no, if that's a desire that you have and you feel really good expressing yourself in that way, you should feel empowered to do that and kind of like go about that path. So yeah, it's an interesting journey for me because it's like I think it's going to be interesting once I do start seeing like a lot of that success start coming into my life, and that I've realized that I can't control other people's perceptions and perspectives of me. And I'm probably still, once I reach that level, people are probably going to think I'm being inauthentic. They're probably going to think I'm doing all of that because I want to show off and flaunt. But it's like, you know what? If anything, I want you to come to my luxury car garage and drive my cars for free. I want to give you the experience of what it's like to live like this. I don't want people to feel like, oh, you people, like I want money to bring people together first. I want people to see that money is good and that it's a tool. It's a spiritual energy. It enhances who you already are at a core level. That's all that it does. So once I can kind of help people pivot into that mindset, then I think that's where we can switch into, maybe more, like I said, like tech stuff. I want to get into really philanthropic endeavors. And like I said, that SMMA earlier, that's a really big goal of mine, actually. I want to travel, if possible, I want to travel to every single place on earth. And in that process, I just want to meet a lot of people. I want to bring my camera along. I freaking love cinematography and photography and stuff. So I want to like film people. I want to take pictures of people. I want to share their craft with people. And that's kind of what I was trying to do before this whole finance stuff. But I'm essentially what I'm doing is this financial agency. It gives you the ability to have passive income. So that's the gold mine that I found almost, is that you can get maybe 5 to 10 clients here, make 10 to 15K a month, and then you can just be living off of that passively, not have to continue working on that. You have that passive income coming in for the rest of your life, and you can use that to fuel everything else that you want to do. So that's kind of where I'm trying to use this for that. I'm still going to be a part of the financial stuff just because I actually envision how money works kind of becoming a household name in America, and I want everybody to know about it. But from there, yeah, I really want to just connect with people, man. That is like, out of everything that I've ever done in my life, that's the one thing that's made me just spark and smile and feel good, is just being able to genuinely connect and see other people's passion, see other people talk about their purpose. It freaking lights me up, man.
Yeah. And the way I think about money is similar to the way you think about money. I think about it as enabler, or it's like having a Ferrari and not having the fuel. If your
Yeah.
mind is a Ferrari and you can't just move the Ferrari,
Yeah.
like it just doesn't make it just looks fabulous,
Exactly.
but it's not moving, it's not transcending.
I like that analogy. I'm gonna use that. I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
tweet that.
It's I probably think it was Ty Lucas who had this analogy, and I stole it from him. But I think about money that way. It's the fuel. It's what gets things moving. So you need to have that leverage to get your ideas across and get connection and be authentic and be who you really are. You need to have that fuel. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to be a beautiful minded individual and have all those ideas about the future. I cannot implement them in the world.
Exactly.
You're not playing the game. You just got the
You're just
really important.
envisioning the game. You're thinking about it, and it's there. It's like dangling a little carrot of your dreams in front of you, but you're never actually doing anything about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, any advice for people who wanna start out this journey of financial freedom and taking the entrepreneurial journey, or people who are doing it but you want to enlighten a sort of parts of the journey that you can take care of, or you really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, I think the first thing that anybody needs to find is their purpose. They need to find their why. They need to find out what is it within them that makes them happy. What problems do they as a person need to be solving to feel fulfilled in what they do? From there, it's just a matter of, I was talking about this to my team member the other day, talking about like how sometimes you'll find your purpose at a really young age, but then you won't necessarily know how to like go about it, or you'll be really confused and stuff. And I think in that case, if you've been an entrepreneur for a while and you're still not seeing success, look at whatever you're doing. Like look at the career path that you've chosen to carry out your purpose, and ask yourself how much you've grown from it, say in the last 6 months to a year. If you can see that you just as a person have had growth in what you're doing, that means you're on the right path. Because if you're not growing, you're just stagnant, and then obviously, that's not for you. But if you are genuinely if you're growing as a person, personally, professionally, spiritually, in every aspect of your life, if you're growing, even if maybe you're not getting the finances that you want yet, you're in the right place. And it's just going to take a little bit to get to those finances. But yeah, I'd say huge thing is purpose, finding your why. If you don't know why you're doing your business and you have no sense of like anything tied to it, if you're just doing a business to do a business and make money, like it's gonna be so short-lived, and you're not gonna stick around for even 2 or 3 months. Like, you're gonna want that instant gratification, and you're not gonna find it, because that's just not how the world works. So yeah, I think once people find their purpose, that gives them the fire and the flame within to work through that adversity and understand that yeah, hey, like, I might not be where I want to be right now, but it feels right, and I know that I'm on the right path, and I know that I'm helping people. And I kind of just tell people, take life one day at a time. Don't give yourself crap for anything, really. Be hard on yourself, but learn from your mistakes and grow from them. Don't take your failures as a reason to quit. Take your failures as a reason to keep going. Every failure that I go through just pumps me up, really, honestly. It gives me fuel. It makes me feel like, shoot, if I just failed at this, that means I'm one step closer to where I want to be. So yeah, it's really just finding your purpose, accepting adversities and failures as a part of life, and just learn to become really self-aware about everything in your environment, your surroundings, everything in your relationships. Start becoming really self-aware about your thoughts, how you're perceiving the world. Really dive deep, and understand that you're gonna have a lot of trauma that you're gonna have to go through, and you're gonna have to overcome a lot of your past trauma if you want to become an entrepreneur. You are gonna have to sit through, like, for me, I journaled my entire childhood a couple of weeks ago, and I never would have done that had I not joined this just this company and just this team or whatever. Or just being an entrepreneur, I don't think I would have ever done that, because I didn't really have any reason to write down my childhood and reflect on it. Cause I didn't have any reason to, but now did it a couple weeks ago, and there was just so many parallels with how my parents treated me and how I was correlating that to how I was pursuing things. So that's another thing, is you're gonna have to sit down and sob and cry and release and feel everything that you as a child didn't feel, because you thought that that's just how life was. Yeah, and I guess just embrace the tears, embrace the pain, embrace the sadness. It's not gonna last forever. It comes in temporary waves. But like I said, that compound effect happens. So once you start really genuinely believing in yourself, getting rid of those beliefs, you're going to see less of the survival and the poverty that you've been experiencing all your life. And you're going to start seeing more opportunities and excitement and people that want to help you, want to support what you do. So, yeah.
Love that. Let me just recap. I've been taking notes of, love how you encapsulated it. So you need to have a purpose, a why. You need to measure your success, see that purpose, if it's really getting you somewhere, and gather feedback, learn from the mistakes that you're doing, and let those feedback with a self-awareness mindset, guide you towards the right decision.
Yeah.
Being self-aware and embracing that the journey itself will have some pain, failure. It's okay. It's part of the journey. I love how you captured that, and your vision and your advice for how to go about this. It's really gonna hit with a lot of people, and it just personally hit with me, because we think alike in most of this stuff. But I'm sure our viewers and people who are going to watch this in the future will see what we're saying, and hopefully get.
Yeah, I mean, I have that approach too, because like I've noticed sitting down with clients, talking about finance, they're really ashamed. They're ashamed of their lack of knowledge. They're ashamed that they're in debt. They just feel guilty, and then they don't want to open up because they're just ashamed. And it's like, that's like, that's what made me realize, I guess, the importance of authenticity and love within all of this is like people are just scared. And, if we can empower them to get out of that scarcity mindset and into a growth mindset of not just self-awareness, but being open and receptive to taking accountability, understanding that, hey man, I understand that you're in a shitty spot, but also you have to take accountability for the fact that you got yourself in this shitty spot. Yes, it may have been subconsciously through your childhood traumas, but you still need to take accountability for that because you are the reason why you are where you are right now. So, I think that's been the hardest part for me is having to be really raw and authentic with people, literally having to ask hard ass questions, having to really like get people to understand like what they're scared of. And like, it's crazy how much money, like it's not even about the money. It's literally about their family, about their dreams. It's about what they want to do in the world. It's like, that's why you as a financial advisor, like you don't just go up to people and tell them you're a financial advisor and ask them to work on their finances. It's not like that. It's like you have to get to know them as a person and genuinely be there for them, be their friend, and have their best interest in your best interest. So I guess that's another aspect of becoming an entrepreneur is be okay with sometimes being a fuck up. That's it. Just be okay with it. Like, accept it. Holy shit!
I drove this a couple of days ago. Like, oh my god, I'm sorry.
What are the odds? Hey, the universe is speaking through us. I love it.
I posted that. I inspired to do this from a video from, do you know the Hermosis, Lila and Alex?
Yeah.
So she was talking a podcast episode. She published this reel on Instagram. Like people, she was talking that people right now, they have this burden on themselves. Like Alex and Layla, both of them, like for the past couple of months, like they cannot fuck up because too many people are looking up to them, doing their thing and succeeding in this, and building the $1 million thing and going through the billion. And it's okay to fuck up. They were talking about this. She was talking like it's totally okay if we fuck up. We just gotta move on, adapt and go to the next thing. It's having a burden of like, oh, fucking up is really bad. It's gonna be the end of it all. My universe is gonna crumble. It just doesn't happen, like.
Yeah.
Reality.
Like it goes back to being a kid. Like if you really think about it, as a kid, how did you learn? How did you learn how to walk? You bailed on the floor a million times. It doesn't mean you stopped trying to learn how to walk. You kept going. It's like, that's why I always tell people, just go back to being a kid. Go back to like being your old childhood self. Like that is how we were learning things. Like, and you think about when it goes to like relationships and stuff, people are like, oh, I need another person to fulfill me, to feel like loving and good as a person. Kids don't have romantic relationships, and they're the most cutest love bugs on this planet. Like they're just so loving and so open and so happy. They don't need anything else. It's just like, it's interesting how like kids are sometimes our biggest teachers, man.
Our most authentic, self. They behave without overthinking. They don't have those agendas or and I think us as adults need that space inside our mind, to behave this way. Like, still take action based on authentic feelings and how we really do it, and take it all in with the pain, with the failure. I believe the journey itself, from my end, what I'm connecting in this to be is it's more leaving our impact or our perspective and documenting that, or transcending it to other people through our impact and emotion, and maybe our like you have kids at some point. Like, we transcend the perspective that this is why we're here. So by pursuing it in the, in the right way, and having the financial freedom, having the open mindedness and the empathy to understand the world, you are literally grasping the universe and document it in your way, which is, yeah,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
it's exciting. Like, it makes you feel optimistic for the future on too many levels, because no matter how it hits you, it's all about your experience and how you're gonna overcome the experience.
Yeah. And like the law of duality, because I got that from reading the Kabbalion. Like that's kind of how I operate off things. Like I just like every single time anything good happens, I'm like, okay, what bad is gonna come? And whenever anything bad happens, I'm like, okay, what good is gonna come? And it's just like the other like yesterday, I vomited 5 times or whatever, and I accidentally locked my keys in my car and had to get a locksmith to come out. Like it was a bad day, but like at the end of the day, I like sat down. I'm just like, hey, universe, thanks for today. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, you know what? I'm not bothered by it. Like, I got my keys back. I'm feeling better. Yeah, I might be minus a couple hundred in the bank now for a stupid reason, but in the same vein, maybe it wasn't for a stupid reason. Maybe, the universe wanted me to go through this little thing because I haven't really been going through too much adversity in the last couple months, and maybe it's just like, here's a little sprinkle to make sure you're staying in check hand there or something. I don't know, but it's just like, yeah, like at this point, I'm grateful when I go through stuff. I'm really like, I'm excited and happy to go through pain, because that just, it goes all the way back to when one door closes, another one opens. That's, as soon as I go through something painful, I already know the universe is like doing something good for me in that moment and bringing something better. Just, that's when I wake up with certain affirmations every day. So like, I'll wake up and I'll think to myself, I allow the universe to reveal to me what is of my highest good. Everything is always working out for me, and it's this or something else. And that it's this or something else, that's been one of the biggest things for me, because it's like, it's this or something else. I'm happy with what I've got, or I might get better. I'm happy with either.
Exactly. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
I want to dive to the like the social media agency stuff, because I done this like back in 2016. I wanna hear your perspective on why exactly you wanna have a social media agency, how you wanna go about it. Maybe I can help with a little bit.
Yeah. So I really love AI, and I was trying to take an approach where it was called the creative movement, and essentially I wanted to make it where I could like almost automate the process of the content creation aspect. So then that way, honestly, I was kind of iffy on how I wanted to implement AI, but I knew I wanted to kind of use an SMMA to really connect with other people. So, I've personally always loved social media. I genuinely, like, when I was 14, I was on Google Plus and got like 2,000 views in like 2 weeks or something. Like I've always resonated with social media. So social media is, I know. Literally. But yeah, like I've always resonated with social media, and it's always been my way of being able to connect with people. So, I was kind of imagining it turning into something where I travel all around America. And it was going to be a really untraditional SMMA where I was like, instead of just like doing people's like content creation and stuff, like I will literally fly to them, sit down with them, have a conversation with them, film the whole thing, film what they're doing. It could range from doing interviews to doing behind the scenes stuff to doing maybe like promotional stuff for whatever they're doing, maybe raising some sort of awareness, maybe some funds for what they're doing if they've already gotten somewhere, just kind of doing different little charitable acts for their purpose and for their passion, and then just highlighting that to the world. And I was thinking maybe I was trying to automate the process of that piece, the operational side of things, where I don't have to work so much on the operational stuff, have that be automated, and then be able to just have all of my work go into connecting with people, meeting people all around America, and trying to essentially viralize what they're doing. If the universe, wants to viralize their content, depending on, because it really depends, if you have a lack of authenticity and purpose in your craft, you're not going to go viral. It really is an energy thing. If you're operating from a place of just doing it to make money, or you're in a bad place, like just the odds of you going viral is so slim. Now there are exceptions where there have been some really bad people that have been successful, and that again, it is what it is. But I lost my train of thought. Shoot, what was I saying?
So you want to go help people?
As the
around
SMMA.
America.
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it. And then from there, I was imagining that turning into a movement of creatives that are almost like starting to spread themselves amongst America and then eventually globally, and just kind of connecting everybody all around the world, making it so no matter where you live, we all share a purpose, we all share a passion together, and in that way I would be able to like raise human consciousness, be able to connect people together through our heart centers, through our love, through our passions, through our purpose. That's kind of how I imagine it going.
So it's more of a media vehicle or an enabler tool through your arsenal to get people to, because you have the financial stuff as well, and you have the media traction builder with the SMA, and so you have an integrated system. Make money and get viral. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like how you. Yeah. It's funny because the logo that I chose for it was an infinity symbol, and you were kind of doing that. It ties together.
Yeah, it ties together. Exactly. Love that, because and you can start with an MVP version of it. With an affiliate product or something around social media that's doing a similar thing with your tactics or your.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna do. I was it was really unfortunate just because things didn't go well. I had actually I had onboarded with a company called Air.ai, and they weren't really catered for newbies like myself, but they kind of made themselves seem like that's the case. But also in the same vein, I think maybe my visions and my passions, just the kind of agency I was wanting to create was very untraditional. And I think that's why I wasn't having too much success within that. But
because with your vision, you'll need to scale the media vehicle first to really get the traction, because you need to
I was thinking that I needed to, at that point in time, I was thinking I needed to connect with people first, do all kind of travel for free and show people that stuff for free, build up my foundation through that connection, and then get money. But then I realized, that's kind of backwards almost, like so then that's where I was like, okay, this finance stuff comes into play, where it's like, okay, now I have a vehicle to be able to go out to people, still do it for free, but I won't be like struggling in the process while I'm like trying to build stuff. Oh no, it looks like you froze again.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a similar thing with my business, but I'm trying to build it as more of a community and event sort of model, a hub model. So,
Okay.
having a community and events through this with the podcast and talking with people who I really admire in the market, and having those sort of uh, content pieces and master classes be inside the community, so people can go through a curriculum, and if they want to get more one-on-one help, they will have a network or a roster of freelancers, entrepreneurs who are doing similar things, and they can hire them to help with that. So,
I
for
like
example, if
that.
you, yeah, like having a financial advisor like you inside a community will mean like they can book with you and they can get advice, and you can get like the media aspect as well.
And you know,
That's
actually, you just reminded me. I completely forgot that actually that was part of the AI that I wanted to implement in the creative movement. Was I wanted to create an AI marketplace hub where businesses and corporations and I guess really established entrepreneurs can connect with people like us, people that are still aspiring, still trying to get somewhere. Make it where this community and this movement, they support each other through their goods, through their services, and kind of create this like philanthropic ecosystem where they're helping each other because they see the vision that they have with each other, and kind of have that empower each other. So I'm glad you brought that up, because
yeah,
that's kind of like what I'm trying to do too.
love that.
And I'm also doing
We
I want to do events too, like you were saying, events and stuff. That was one thing. It's really difficult because people will only learn when they feel like they have a reason to learn almost, and they have to feel something in order to have that to be sparked. So like that was one thing I wanted to do when meeting up with people, was actually having an in-person event in each city that I go to, being able to bring 10, 15, maybe 20K to each event, and having people come sit down with me and us talk, and then basically me choose out of the people that come, like who I want to give away this money to, and basically like help them if they've been stuck for a while or something like that. So I
yeah,
think going about that way too is going to be interesting, because it's hard. It's hard because you don't just want to do handouts, because sometimes people will take handouts as just like they'll take a handout and they won't do with that gift what you envisioned that they would, and they might trample on it or use it in the wrong way. But I am curious just to see how that would go, because if we can kind of empower people through finances to um, help them with their money tangibly, that might give them more of an urge to learn more about it and stuff. But everybody's different. Sometimes people like to lead with education. Sometimes they don't need the money aspect in order to want to learn. So that's where I like what you're saying with kind of bringing different people from different industries and different backgrounds, and just being able to offer their advice and their support to people that need it, that are also in the community.
well, I believe your model it can work if it's similar to what the financial big apps do, like giving you a free stock when you sign up through this as a sort of help, and having it being a gamification sort of like tactic.
Yeah,
Uh, you learn something, so you get incentivized to invest more, and I will double down. Your share. If you're gonna buy this share, I'm gonna buy.
I
double
like
it
it.
down. Maybe
Yeah,
yeah, it can be
gamification
more.
is ooh, I love
Yeah,
gamification, dude. That
yeah, you're a
ah,
gamer, so
yeah, dude. Life is a game, I swear.
that's right. Yeah, the more that I grow up, I realize that, yeah, I understand majority of this reality through my understanding of games and how the mechanics and the world works. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What sort of games do you play?
Oh gosh. Pff, everything. I'd say I'm more of an FPS gamer, so I like Overwatch,
Oh,
Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, but I also like
You're a
survival
pro.
games.
Yeah,
Maybe
my
a
favorite.
little bit.
Survival is my favorite. I don't I don't game that much because I'm not like FPS are the worst for me because I'm not really good with aiming and triggers and I have ADHD. It's not my cup of tea at all when it
Fair,
comes to
fair.
games. But I love watching people get intense about it with my friends and stuff like this when we have like a Call of Duty zombie war stuff like this. This
Hell
is fun.
yeah.
Like I love that. But survival games and story-based games like big games like GTA, Resident, Last of Us.
Yeah.
What's the other one by Rockstar that I love? The one with horses. Red Dead
Oh, Red Dead
Redemption.
Redemption, yeah.
Ah,
I love
those
it.
are.
Fallout? Do you like Fallout?
I love. I never played it, but I watched the gameplay
It's so
because
fun.
yeah, and I
And Rust. You ever
also
play Rust?
no.
No.
Uh,
Rust is like as almost as like realistic to survival as you can get. You just like you spawn on an island, you're completely naked with a rock and a twig, and you just
oh,
good luck.
good luck.
It's fun though.
Final Fantasy, the one with Cloud, I played that. I love that. The remaster and the old one,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so those are my. I mean, yeah, gaming is fun, but I don't like to the time investment that it takes for me. That's my ADHD nature. I can't dedicate much time to stuff like this.
Yeah.
But like GTA, Redemption, Last of Us, those are the three games that I was able to, like, sort
Dude,
of.
The Last of Us, that is bringing back so much nostalgia. Like, I was at a really low point in my life when I played that game because it was actually during my childhood. My parents were pretty psychologically abusive most of my childhood, and that's okay. It was childhood trauma that they weren't able to heal from. They didn't realize that they were kind of projecting. But in any case, there was a point where my mom didn't like. So because my dad had moved around a lot because like his welding and stuff. Sometimes he would he'd have to like go to a city that's like 2 hours away and work there for like a couple months. So at one point he had done that, and things had gotten really, I guess, heated between me and my mom, and she pretty much was just like, take your kid, I don't want her here, just like take her. Like, it literally said those words, like, your kid. Like, I wasn't even her daughter, and it was like, damn, that's damn, mom. But we're on a much better relationship now, though, so I don't want to talk shit about her. But
yeah.
when I went there with my dad for those couple months, The Last of Us is what I played. I played The Last of Us, and I think I played Alien Isolation too. But yeah, like playing The Last of Us, it was just like such a intimate experience, and like the storyline and everything was just everything about it.
Yeah, it takes you on an emotional journey that it's healing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like playing The Last of Us is very healing for me. Like when I played it for the first time. Yeah, like going on and losing those characters and seeing humans how they really act under survival. Yeah, I love that game. I think it's one of the best when it comes to stories and that, like taking you on that emotional journey. Like watching The Godfather or something, like it's that epic.
Yeah,
like,
it really is. And then people go to The Last of Us too. I haven't even finished that, but like I played the first, like, I don't know, maybe I think I played the first hour of The Last of Us, and like they like killed off one of the main characters in the first hour. I was like, they are ballsy as hell. People don't like that, but I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like they're really like they are really good at encapsulating reality and not just conforming to certain fantasy video game kind of outlines. Like they're actually trying to base The Last of Us on what it would be like to be in a post-apocalyptic world as just a human. I love that game.
I love that game too. It's like the trolley experiment, like you try to imagine too many. Yeah, it's really that deep, because people resonated with the last of. I think they made the show because of the COVID stuff. Like COVID really felt like being a zombie apocalypse sort of.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, so yeah, video games. And this is why I love what we're doing with the internet and writing and having this like this kind of impact, the creative impact. You know, it's really what truly matter. Encapsulating ideas and really knowing how to talk about it and giving it in a story that resonates with people to provoke a certain emotion or a certain idea, implement a certain idea in their head. It's like the movie Inception. You know the movie Inception?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the whole Inception thing. Like I see, it was years. I love that movie. When I got released back in the cinemas, like in 2012 or something. I went to that movie like 4 times, I believe. I just loved it.
Hell yeah.
I love movies. I love cinema. So with time, I started to understand this movie is really about the idea of making movies and telling stories. It's a movie about making a movie, like the way they structure the dream is the movie, and when you understand that perspective, like this is the best storytelling course out there. Watch Inception, you know, like get the idea of how to implement ideas and tell stories that resonate with people. So
Yeah.
artists do this. You know, Christopher Nolan is an artist. We are, you know, what we're doing, we're being artists. You know, we're having our perspective, writing down our ideas, documenting the journey. So I love this. I just love that art transcendent that way, you know.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like I think game like genuinely I think gamification in any aspect of life is important because I think that's just how we go about life. And I think that's how like we'll be able to because I was telling you how like, sometimes the only way that people will wake up is going through adversities. But I think there are other ways for people to wake up too, and I think it is through gamification because like with The Last of Us, it's almost like we went through that adversity with them. Even though we didn't, we still experienced it. We still played as the character and in a way that did affect our emotions in some way. And, I think there's power in that, if we can gamify certain aspects of life. That's like, I had an interesting business idea where I was like, what if I ran a business that like simulated really shitty, horrific situations? And people like voluntarily went into those situations to learn how to handle that kind of an emotion before something like that even happens, essentially. It kind of like trying to jumpstart their awakening through really maybe chaotic, simulated like experiences that but they would have to obviously want to go through that. It's not just, put you in a simulation and like you're in World War II or something. Like, you gotta yeah, like there's got to be some strategy behind it. But I think that gamification, like throughout every aspect of my life, games have been a huge part of my life, and they have always brought me some type of emotion. They've always helped trigger me in some way or think about things in a different way. And that's why I like gamification more than movies. It fascinates me how some parents can be like, don't play the game for 2-3 hours, but they'll let their kid watch Netflix for 5, 6, 7 hours. It's like, I think gaming is more important because you're actually engaged. You're using your brain. You're making decisions. You are tapped into your emotions. Like, you're tapped into your emotions with movies too, but there's no engagement with it. It's just a screen that you're watching. You're not interacting with it. And I think that interaction that's the point that people are missing. That's the point that we need.
Yeah, like as said, movies are more like dreams. They affect you on a subconscious level. Games, they make you understand the design of reality, how it all interacts with, like the gamification, the score system, the reward, the structure of a building, and how to be strategic about resources within a game, and how to scale up a certain level to get to a certain door, and that will open the big boss fight for you. You can't really if you don't go through it and really understand it with the gaming mechanics, and like those skills will not transcend. I don't see it in. It's hard to get it from real life because
Yeah.
it's not. Reality is not like, hey, you don't see a coin popping and
Right, right.
yeah. But yeah, you feel it. Like when I do something great, I feel like there's a coin, a Mario coin.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Got my little diamonds or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Love that. What sort of movies do you like? Great.
Oh, I'd say my number one favorite movie is Interstellar. I think that's what taught me love,
Love,
like
yeah.
the
I was
importance
gonna
of
say.
love. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I think if people watch Interstellar and they see that like abandoning someone that you really love for because you love them, you're abandoning them because of your love for them. It's like it's such a paradox. And then, you know, when they talk about it, when they're in space and they're talking about how like it's crazy how no matter where you are in the universe, no matter how far away you are, that love will always remain. It's like, and she was talking about how like it's crazy to think that I'm literally on a spaceship right now because I love somebody and I can't even talk to them, but I'm still here because of my love for them. And it's like love is just this weird, like is it a different dimension? Is it a different energy? Like so yeah, Interstellar was just like mind blowing
Yeah.
for me. And then my second one. Yeah.
Especially if you're spiritual, you know, it really help you connect those parts of being scientific and spiritual, because the love is that missing part from from the scientific thing. I love that
Yeah.
movie. Really
Yeah.
made me understand lots of things about, you know, the universe. Yeah. And your second one?
Yeah, my second one, it used to be my first until I watched Interstellar, but it was I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Favorite
why
too.
I have such a thing for post-apocalyptic stuff. Like I don't know, I don't know.
It's the dog. Had a dog. Yeah, it's the
Hey,
dog.
you're right. You're right. Hey,
Yeah.
German Shepherds are my favorite, so you might have a point there.
Yeah, I used to have Milo. He was a white German Shepherd. Love that dude.
Oh, that's so
yeah,
sweet. Do you have any
yeah.
pets now?
3 cats.
Oh, okay.
I'm a cat person. I'm more of a cat person at home right now.
I love that.
But
My roommates have 2 cats. I have a little papillon doggo, but I've been thinking
Yeah.
about I want to get what are they called? I think I put it somewhere. I want to get a cat again. I used to have 2 cats. We had to get rid of them when we moved to Nevada, which like was really heartbreaking because I had them for a long time. But I want to get I do know I want to get an African gray parrot. I have always wanted one of those guys because
Whoa.
they can learn like 2,000 words in their vocabulary and they can have like actual conversations with you. I'm like, I want to talk to a parrot. Are you hell yeah, dude? But the cat
Very
I want a Maine Coon. Those things look so cool. I want them. They're like cool, like really big paws, and they're all fluffy. Oh my gosh, they're so cute, man.
I love cats. I love cats, dogs. I love animals in general. Like I feel like I connect with animal and because animals with the love thing, they transcend love. Very, you give them love, they give you back love, and then you have the connection. And yeah, cats, dogs, parrots. I used to have a parrot. Like he passed away because of the sun. But this was when I was 7 or 8. It was an amazing animal, you know, to have it. And he used to be scared of one of my aunts and an uncle when the parrot was living in my grandparents' house. So the whole family, he liked certain family members, and he didn't like the other. Like 2 particular aunt and uncle. Like whenever they pass by, like he goes crazy. I'm like,
Hey, that goes back to energy, bro. Like,
yeah.
the animals are perfect animals pick up on energy heavily. Like my dog, I've had her since 6th grade. she's taught me. She genuinely has taught me unconditional love. But it's like, dude. So when I moved from California to Texas for that 27-hour drive, I have never drank energy drinks, and so I was like, well, it's gonna be a 27-hour drive. I'm probably gonna pass out at some point, so I should probably just try and have some energy drinks. So I had 4 Red Bulls in like 11 hours. Huge mistake. Shouldn't have done that. I had a panic attack. I couldn't sleep. I went to a hotel and slept for like 30 minutes. Like, it was so bad, but my eyes were bloodshot and I was really tired and just like horrible. And obviously my dog was with me. She looked the exact same. Her eyes were bloodshot. Her face was droopy. She was like just so tired. And I was like, why are you tired? You didn't have 4 Red Bulls and stuff. Like, what? Why are you? And it's just like, it's because of how empathetic they are, and they're picking up on my energy. And it's just like, yeah. So animals are just, I really, I feel bad for the people that don't like pets, because just there's something about them that it really teaches you empathy, and it teaches you even past that, like, I'll be honest, as a kid, I was pretty abusive to animals. I didn't really, I kind of got that from my dad, because he didn't really care about his animals. He would just kind of kick them, or, wouldn't like, he would treat them really shitty. And I kind of picked up on those habits, and I've luckily completely, grown from that. But like with my puppo, like, she loved me through me treating her really shitty, as a little puppo. And now, our relationship is so much better, because, she trusts me now, and it's like, she's not scared of me anymore. And it's like, that's another aspect of having pets, is like, I guess it helps you learn about yourself, learn about, where your perceptions and beliefs are coming in, and how you might be harming something that really loves you and really feels, unconditional love for you. And learning how to like not take advantage of not just pets, but people, learning how to not take advantage of the things and the people in your life that show up for you and always give you unconditional love. So yeah, it sucks for people that don't have pets, because it's like, it might take a little bit longer for them to kind of like learn that aspect of life.
Yeah, like, pets are just like, I don't really, it's usually fear that is like, people who don't like animals, they either have their germaphobe about animals, or they have certain fears or traumas around animals. So they were little, they got bitten by the
like
dog,
bit or something.
yeah. So yeah, it's you overstep like the fear part of that experience, and you open up to those creatures, and you can't get this from humans. Like the kind of love that animals give you, like, you really can't. It's just different. They get attached. They can really, like, a dog will throw himself for you, like, if you are in a situation. So yeah.
And that actually goes into, I didn't even realize that my 3rd favorite movie is, actually it's my 4th. My 3rd favorite's Warm Bodies, and then my 4th is The Life of Pi.
Whoa, yeah.
Because that's another animal one that's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I felt like an interpretation of that movie and the book itself, like, the animal, the tiger really represents the evil inside the human. They're like the yin and yang thing that we're talking about all over, the episode. Like, it's the good, and Pi winning at the end, and like when Pi hits the shore, and the tigers walks by, Richard Parker walks by. It's really represent, because and the whole movie itself is like being reborn. Being killed and being reborn again, and once you've been born, the moment that you wait, like, you get outside the womb and you cry for the first time, you don't have any evil at that moment. So Richard Parker cannot exist with the character, with the main character anymore, because he's just reborn. He's a new person.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Dude, yeah, I love it too.
Uh, you play. Like, I see you work out as well. Your sports is. I like to walk. Long walks is for me. I used to play basketball when I was young, like pro basketball with pro teams back in school. And before that, I used to swim a little bit. Then I stopped with the working out part of it in college. Then went back this year. It's more long walk. I never stopped long walks. It's just my favorite kind of activity to feel good about my body, like I'm doing something for my body. The
Yeah,
other stuff I just you know try here and there, but I don't necessarily stick to them. It's on the future pipeline to the future stuff, health and working out and stuff like this. But I feel like walks usually because I can think through a walk. I can
yeah.
empty my
They
mind.
they do say like I literally saw something yesterday or the day before that was like there's something within pacing that like almost creates portals of energy that you walk through and you just walk through different realities because walking within itself like um it like I don't know, it just creates this energy and like momentum while you're walking that's like somehow correlating with your mind and making it so you can have ideas and like think of things and stuff. It's like it's interesting for me. I have most of my ideas actually in the shower, like with water and stuff.
Yeah,
That's pretty fascinating. But when it comes to like exercise and stuff, I actually wasn't working out for a while. Like I just started working out like probably a month ago.
yeah.
But when it comes to like sports and stuff, I've actually been a natural at almost every sport that I've played. I played volleyball, softball, basketball, swimming. I was on swim team for a bit. Um, Track. I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty fast. I can
Uh,
jump pretty high too. But yeah, I think more than anything, I've been thinking about. I really love dancing and I really love music. Music's like my therapy. That's been the one thing that I have always loved music. So I've been thinking about maybe getting into some sort of dancing, and if not dancing, I used to do taekwondo a really long time ago. I really love just something about Japanese culture and just like martial arts and stuff. I really love it. I was uh, I was I was being taught like red belt slash red with a black stripe belt strategies when I was like a yellow belt or like a green belt. That's like almost on two opposite sides of the spectrum. And like my sensei, he was teaching me almost like pretty much black belt stuff when I just started, just because of how easily I was picking things up and doing stuff. It was so cool. So I've been thinking about either getting back into taekwondo type stuff, martial arts, dancing, and I've also maybe been thinking about getting into boxing, just because I've actually noticed that um the way that my body likes to release anger is through impact. So hitting things, that seems to be how, my body likes to release anger. So yeah, just like I've been thinking maybe like getting into boxing, maybe punching bags or something like that. Just kind of seeing how and like testing with my body what I like to do to release my emotions, because I think that's how I like to go about exercise and like working out and stuff. I do it with intention. I do it to like release something or to enhance something or get ideas or something like that. Kind of like how you were mentioning with your walk. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I really like any kind of activity, and if it doesn't resonate, then I just won't keep doing it. But that's pretty interesting. I've almost been a natural at almost every single sport that I've done. Like I usually pick things up really quickly. So I don't know. I must have been some sort of Olympian in a past life. I don't freaking know.
yeah, probably. Yeah, love that. Yeah, and it's the martial arts and dancing part. I feel they very similar. And martial arts, they it feels like dancing. You
Yeah.
exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They did it. They made us do like little combos with our punches and stuff, where it was like little routines, and it would be kind of like a dance. You'd have to like do it a certain way, and kind of have a certain posture and stuff. So I didn't think about that. It kind of is like dancing. You're right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I played my martial arts when I was little. It, I liked it. Sports. I was more into the I love sport, but I don't like competition that much, to be honest with you.
I'm the complete opposite. Dude, I am so oh my, it used
I
to be so
feel
bad. Like, dude, if you go through my YouTube, I don't believe in taking down anything from my past just because I want people to see the evolution of where I've come from. But if you like take a look at some of like my old like gaming like montages and videos, I would rage, dude. Like even with my
Mhm.
best friend, like we'd be on the shipment map on COD and we'd be like sparring each other with the SPR, like a sniper rifle, and he like hit me 5 times in a row out of my spawn every time, and I just like whammed on my table, and I was just pissed. It's like it's crazy how much I've grown from that. I'm still highly competitive, but it's interesting that like within my competitiveness, I had to kind of tone down like my anger and like I guess maybe how competitive I was being, because I was so competitive to a point where I was attaching my worth to if I won or not. And that is so bad, dude. That is so bad, because if you go into anything being competitive and you attach your worth to if you lose, you're not gonna laugh. Like, that's the point of competition, is you win or you lose. But yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting that like you and me have that yin and yang where I'm super competitive, but then maybe you're not so competitive. It's kind of interesting.
well, I'll let me tell you the journey and have that, like, to give you some more context of
Yeah.
how I feel about it now. Because, as you said, when you're young, you attach the competition with your self worth most of the time. And if you, because my childhood, my self esteem and the way I was thinking about myself changed and evolved over the years on how I was getting the energy to feel good about myself.
Mm.
So I found that mainly through art from a young age, like drawing, doing computer stuff, graphic design. I was really into that. So I like the competition in that part because I feel I can. I'm making my thing, my universe, my vision, my castle, and it's my rules, and I can win whenever I want, and I can make you win whenever. Like I designed the stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever you go in a pre-built system, you got to play by everybody's rule, and I have this resistance from a young age. I'm not really
Mm.
a rules player, but you give me a competitive edge, or you allow me to do my stuff. I'll not necessarily compete. I will enhance the experience
Okay.
because I really don't like that big W. I don't really care about the big W or the big L at the end. It doesn't really doesn't matter because you win at this round, I can win you over. Like I can have a game where I'm completely dominating you. And like, okay, and after this, I'm not in the mood anymore, and you over. It's that it's it's okay. It's totally fine. Like the mindset of winning is very important for people, for creative. I think not having that part, being very I'm not dopamine oriented in that front. Like I want to win, but I want to play. I want to
Yeah.
explore. I'm an explorer, but like if I see a winner like you or someone who likes it, I like to have them on my team because I will strategically enlighten their journey in a sort of way because I like to see other people win, but me winning or having the big title, like this is how I developed this idea of not I'm not really in competition. I don't like,
Right.
it's not about first place, second place. It's just having a good time. Optimizing for a good time is a way harder thing to do actually. Like in the game itself, if you play in the game and you try to rank, it's great. This is a great game. Everybody's trying to play this, but if you try to, you know, encapsulate the whole game or be a game designer, sort of say, or a director, you're not really. It's not about winning or losing because if I'm a director, a movie director, and I'm trying to implement a game or a game designer, it's not. I don't want to have the hardest game ever where I'm only one that I'm able to win.
Yeah.
I come at it from a like collaborative mindset of
I like that.
winning and losing. But the skill itself of being competitive, and it's really, I struggled with it throughout the year, and I stopped too many things that I tried to pursue over life because of that. Because I'm not really, I don't, when it feels too competitive, it's not my thing. I get, like, I think when I feel that the competition itself is adding to the experience, we're growing through that. It's not hate, like you're losing everything with it. You're losing, and we're picking up on it.
Right.
Most sports are not like this, especially at young age. Like you don't develop that mindset, so it's very it's your hormones, your testosterone, you're competing in that light. So I got disconnected from the idea of competition and being very competitive and being number one, stuff like it's not really the drive for me. I'm more in, I really understand the game. I understand how people win at the game. I can pursue to try to win at the game, but it's not gonna be my optimal goal. I wanna explore the game.
I like that. Yeah, you're definitely a go with the flow kind of guy, and that kind of like that rings true with like I wanted to also make the creative movement because I feel like people are afraid to share their ideas because of that competition. They feel like somebody's going to steal their idea, or they just don't want to capitalize or take any action or do anything with their dreams because they just think that somebody else is going to take it or something. And it's like, yes, there are people out there that probably already know that you're like, our ideas, like, there are so many humans that have the same exact idea. All the ideas we're having right now, I'm sure a human had these same ideas 4,000 years ago. So it's like they're not anything new. It's just like some people have taken more action on those ideas and some other people haven't. So to stay stuck and not share your ideas because you're afraid somebody's going to steal them, or you have this imposter syndrome that like, oh, somebody else already had this idea and they're already this far, they're like, nobody needs me now because this person already did it. It's like, no, you have to remove that kind of scarcity mindset and think, no, like this should be healthy competition. How do I start to collaborate with that person? How do I expound upon what they've already created and make what they've done even better? Not everything has to come from a place of, it was my idea and I did this and I deserve all the credit. It's like, no, this should be a collaborative thing. This should be a world and a place where people should be excited to share their ideas, should be excited to be competitive with each other, and not a competition that is ego driven, but one that is spirit driven, almost so purpose driven.
Exactly. And whenever I find a landscape like this, I like to compete in a landscape like this. And it's more of an, like, from what you were saying, I was like, I connected. It's more I'm competing with myself majority of the time. Like,
Yeah.
I have this vision of, like, I don't really care about the other competition. Like, you win, like, if we are pursuing the same thing and you win over and your numbers are way higher, good for you. I really, Gary Vee puts this in a very nice way. You can how to build the tallest building in the world. You can build it by two ways. Like, either build the tallest building in the world, or destroy every other building and build a building. You have yourself a building. I come from the other mindset of trying to build the biggest building in the world, rather than looking at Hannah and have her as the trigger for me, like, to overcoming Hannah. Then
I see. Good. Yeah, I like that. No, I kind of, I vibe with that. I feel the same way.
Yeah, like Hannah can survive, can win, and we can have that. Like I always find someone, and whenever I'm working in a team environment, I always find someone to compete with the numbers. I like the game, but I don't take the game serious. If I
Yeah,
lose, like I know it's just a game.
part of the
Like people,
process.
yeah, and people, yeah, with an obsessive mindset of winning, like they take it way down the rabbit hole, and it can distract their vision or their decision making in the long term if you're just
It
focusing on
even
winning.
it even like for example, like I tweeted the other day, I was just like, I need a chill pill, like I need a day to myself, like I'll see you guys tomorrow. And someone commented saying, if I'm not working, I don't feel good. And I was like, damn, I'm sorry you feel that way, because like I don't correlate my self-worth to what actions I'm taking on a daily basis. Like you're gonna have days where you feel like shit. You're gonna have days where you're not gonna be able to maintain the consistency that you've been maintaining, but that's where you just maybe need one day to reflect or whatever, or maybe you need to, have certain hours within the day that you refuse to work because you want to like use those hours for personal stuff or whatnot. But it's like that winning mentality, only winning mentality suffocates people almost into believing that they have to be perfect in order to succeed. And it sucks. Like, no, you can chill. You can be a human. You can fuck up. You can have bad days. You can have good days. Like your actions are extremely important when it comes to pursuing your dreams, but you don't need to put such a heavy weight on them to the point of like that guy saying he doesn't feel good. Like if he's not taking that action, like I understand that to a certain capacity. I definitely felt resistance, and like when I was taking a chill pill that day, I was like, I could be messaging people, like I could be doing content right now, like I might be wasting my time, but that's an opportunity for me to self-reflect and be like, no, I'm not wasting my time. I'm resting. I deserve to rest. I deserve to relax. I always say when you're resting, it's the universe is working for you, and when you're working, the universe is working through you. So it's like either way, the universe is working, and it's not all on you. You were created by something to be here, so obviously it's not just on you to be, doing all this. You have support, whatever you might, see that as. But yeah, like that winning mentality, like for me, failing is winning.
Exactly,
It really is.
exactly. Love that. Love
But
that because yeah, even if we come from like different perspective, we are landing on the same healthy, balanced kind of mentality with this. And I feel you need this kind of balance in all aspects of life to evolve, to grow, to let yourself become the best version of yourself. Is you know having limited beliefs in anything, even if it's just about winning. Hey, I'm here to win. This will limit you because you're not always here to win. You might lose this, and it's okay. Maybe losing and breaking down, like liquefy, dying, and having your whole ego goes to the ground, and coming from that experience and dealing with losing without being traumatized or feeling going the second route, which is not a good
woe
route.
is me. Why me?
Yeah, definitely. So choosing the improvement route and development route is it's hard. It's just, and if you have resisted the idea of losing throughout your whole life, if you're 20, 30, like, and you break at some point because you're gonna lose. It's eventual. This is nobody just wins in life.
Mhm.
It's gonna break you like a family member. It's something. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna get to that point where you don't feel like in control. So having the idea implemented in your head that you cannot lose, and when reality hits you and you lose, reality just shatter at this point. I mean, and you can take one of two routes, as you said, and taking that other route with all of this and trying to break 30 years or 20 years of mindsets and stuff that you told yourself, hard. So yeah, balance is, as we grow, I feel like balancing, not having, you can have an opinion or you prefer one thing over the other, but it's okay to change that with time, with context, with
Yes.
situations. Like it doesn't have to be absolute. Nothing is absolute. Everything is gray. Nothing is black
Yeah,
and white.
exactly. That's like the best analogy I could have for that is taste buds. Like as a kid or whatever, or as a teenager, like there's certain things that you don't like, maybe you don't like pickles or you don't like veggies or something like that, and then you turn 23, 24, and all of a sudden you like pickles and you like veggies, and it's like,
I
and
love
then
it.
then 20 years later, then all of a sudden you hate them again, but now you like something else. It's like our bodies literally is living proof that evolution and change is meant to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, love that. Love that analogy.
I think that's a good way to end things off because I actually haven't even eaten lunch yet, so I
Yeah,
kind of made myself hungry.
yeah. I love we talked for like, but it was amazing.
It
Love
was no,
that.
dude. I honestly don't meet people like you very often. I'll say that. Like, it's people like you are really rare.
Thank
There's
you.
not very many self-aware people. There's not very many people that are so open-minded, that are, as young as they are. There's a lot of 28, 29-year-olds that I've met on my journey that they've given up. They feel like their life is their life and it just is what it is. So, just keep doing what you're doing, honestly, because like you're an inspiration, even if you don't feel like you are, even if you might feel like you're maybe at the still like the beginning stages of your journey, maybe. I always tell people, like, when you choose to go about entrepreneurship, you have to present yourself as if you are like your highest self. Like, you have to walk into things as if you already have $1 billion, as if you already have helped a lot of people, as if you've already changed the world. So I feel like you kind of are already kind of showing up as that kind of guy, and I'm really excited to see where you take this show, where you take everything else that you're doing, and yeah, just thanks for having me. This has been really cool. This is a blessing for sure.
I'm excited about part two of this conversation where we come back on the show, see each other, progress and how things are happening.
Yeah,
Love,
I'll be in my $1 million mansion or something. We'll be like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
invite you over. We'll be in like
yeah,
separate podcast rooms or something.
yeah,
It'll be cool, dude.
yeah. Love that. Thank you, Anna. Enjoy your meal. I really appreciated this, and I appreciated your journey, and hope our audience loved the episode as well. And we'll see you guys soon. Have a good
Sweet,
one.
sweet. Thank you,
Thank
thank you. Have a good one.
you.